Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Blake here at Trade Tracer. In this video, I'm going to give you a rundown of what I'm expecting this week and how we need to be trading it. As always, none of this is financial advice. Always trade and invest at your own risk. Make sure you hit those links in the description for some free signals. All right, so without further ado, let's get into it. So we are in the week of November 8th, and this week is the week before OPEX. If you don't know what OPEX is, it stands for option expiration. So it's the monthly option expiration. And this week is oftentimes where we put in what I call pivotal lows before making new highs. Now, that doesn't have to happen, but oftentimes we do see some sort of pullback or pivotal low this week before moving higher, which would make a lot of sense because as we go into and look into the charts, you're going to see that we are at resistance. So let's go ahead and get into those charts. So we have the weekly chart pulled up here. This is the S&P 500. And one of the things that I'm noticing is that we are back above this 10-period moving average, that 10 SMA. It's a very positive sign. And we also have the MACD that is getting ready to cross back higher. So from the weekly time frame, we went from no trend with odds favoring lower to no trend with odds now favoring higher, because if we look on the daily time frame, and this is the time frame that we utilize for all of our swing setups, you can see that this downtrend line, that the SPY closed just below that downtrend line on Friday. Now we do have a fresh MACD bullish crossover, and price is really moving past this 10 SMA. So we do have rules to trade long, swing long, and odds are favoring higher prices over the course of the long term. Now this week, what am I expecting? We could obviously see some sort of pullback and let this 10 SMA catch back up to price before finally breaking out of this downtrend line. But there is an area of interest that I do want to highlight, and that's this area right up here. Okay, so if we look at this area, once we can get back above this green segment here, this is where I would press long, meaning I would go ahead and load up on long market exposure, because above this candle's high is price strength confirmation. So just a level for you that I'm watching is that 354.02 on the SPY. So if price can get above this high right here, then I will definitely be looking to press long. Now, what do the Qs look like? The NASDAQ, you guys know I love to trade the NASDAQ. This is what my focus is typically on, just because it's a little bit higher momentum typically relative to the other indexes. So the Qs are looking very strong as well. The Qs actually closed above this downtrend line with bullish MACD in an uptrend. So this next week, I am going to be focusing on tech. Okay, so you guys know I do like tech generally, but especially this week, we're going to be really focusing on tech. We've had some phenomenal plays that set up for us last week. We had apps, we had Tesla, we had a few more that I can't even think off the top of my head. There were so many that made us money. But if you want to get some more of those signals, make sure you click that link in the description to get access to the Telegram channel, where I give out lots of free signals and constant market advice as the market hours are rolling on. So this week we have a couple key levels that I'm watching. So on, like I said, again with the SPY, if we can get above this candle's high, which was 297.46, I will definitely look to press long in my trading account. So some of the setups that I'm looking at, let's go ahead and take a look at bonds really quick. Bonds are just kind of still in this chop zone, not really doing anything, not really doing much of anything. Obviously, right now we're in uptrend, so I'm not really focused on protecting my capital in the bond market right now. If you got to put your money in bonds, do what you got to do, collect the dividend. Gold, as you guys know who follow me, know that I actually really love gold. Gold has a very positive, strong setup, and I do think we actually do get back to these old highs right around that 295 level. So what's going on in gold? Why do I like it so much? Well, let's just go ahead and break this down for a minute. We can see that this anchored VWAP from the June 5th low was a very key price level that I was keeping, not necessarily a price level, but a very key moving average that I was keeping a close eye on. When we came back and closed above that VWAP on November 3rd, and then closed above it again the 4th, we had rules to trade long on our RT. And the reason that was is because price was back above this 10-period moving average with a MACD cross, and we did break above this downtrend line. You can see I have this 179.43 level in here. This was a level that I gave to members. I said, hey, anything above this level, good to swing long, and gold is looking like it wants to set up much, much higher. Let's go ahead and take a look at the monthly time frame from an investment perspective. You can see that this gold chart, this GLD, is forming this huge base. This goes back to 2011. So we're back to the 2011 highs, came back, tried to break out, and now we're forming a bull flag on the monthly time frame, which is a very bullish signal for gold. So a couple things that are fueling this trade is the dollar index. Obviously, a weaker dollar, stronger gold. So keep a close eye on that dollar trade. But gold, I do like a lot, and I do think this is going much, much higher over the course of the long term. Let's see. A couple other things that I wanted to look at was Apple. Apple's got a couple levels in here. Okay, we've already taken, this trade was on our trade setup list, our playbook. Anything above this 119.62, I will be looking to get swing long. If you are aggressive and you wanted to get in early, you could have gotten in these past 2 days, Thursday or Friday, with a stop right below that 10 SMA. So I do really think Apple has a very positive setup. And if the market does go higher, obviously Apple is going to be one of those names that leads. Facebook also looks really good, reversing from this pivot right here. Facebook looks really strong. Chips as well. So any of your semiconductors, AMD looks great. It's breaking above this downtrend line, moving above the 10 SMA with the MACD bull cross. Love AMD. I think that's going to have a very nice trade set up for us. One of our trades that really, really took off for us was APPS, APPS. So we took APPS above this 10 MA, and the past 4 days has just been an absolute payday for members. So APPS is continuing to move much higher. I think this has much, much, much higher prices over the long term. So if you're swing long, stay long versus your stops. That's the best advice I can give you. LRCX, also a name that we took off our playbook, just absolutely crushing it. You can see our level was 381.96 above that, and it just has erupted with the MACD moving higher. Once again, one of these chip names that are continuing to move strongly. Same thing with CLAC. I like CLAC a lot as well. YY was one of our trades that triggered for us back in October. This swing paid very nicely, trigger above 85.50, and you can see that this is already back above 100. Really like YY to continue. But heading into next week, what am I looking at? Well, I'm looking at MU. You can see MU has a very favorable setup, and I just said chips are one of those sectors that I'm looking to lead on this next leg. And you can see we're breaking above this downtrend line, and we have a fresh MACD bullish crossover down here. And we actually have what I consider price strength confirmation above this pivot high. So above 54.85, anything above that price is telling you that there's buyers that have demand, that there's demand above this price. Buyers are in control. Okay, so anything above this 54.85, I think MU is going to head much, much higher. So that's going to be on our list this week, along with a couple others. DraftKings was one that we had set up for us. DraftKings was one of my favorite trade setups. We had a nice trade on this. Still looks good to if you're not in DraftKings, I still think this looks fairly good. We have this break of the downtrend line, the MACD is crossing, and we have the anchored VWAP basically from the lows back from when they started trading, and you can see prices back above that anchored VWAP. And so this is a very bullish signal. And if you wanted to take this trade long, you could either use, this pivot low, so maybe 38.33 as your stop, or if you want to be a true swing trader, you can use this pivot low back here right around the 35 level. Okay, so DraftKings also looks really nice and wants to head higher in my opinion. So I don't want to keep this video too long. Let's wrap it back up here with the SPY. A couple things that I'm watching is this area of interest this week above this pivot high, this 354.02. I will look to press long, meaning get very aggressive in my trading account and investment account and, see where this market wants to go. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video this week. Make sure if you have any questions, leave them in the comments below, like and subscribe, and follow on Twitter. Take care.